Hi, everybody. Brian, Professor B. Davis. We're apologize for the delay here on Niners Radio 49. So here are the latest on the 49ers on the injury report. Here, Brian, Professor B. Davis. Going on, the injury report. Deebo Samuel calf did not practice. Javon Hargrove, he ended up having with the partial torn triceps. He's going to eventually have surgery done for the year. D. Winters' ankle did not practice. Trent Williams was illness, so he didn't go. George Kittle, who didn't play last week against the Rams, he was limited. Brock Purdy with the back was listed day to day. He was probable. Ricky Pearsall still on the non-injury list. Achilles, he will not be allowed to come for at least till after for the 4 games. So we're going to go into some of the headlines as the Niners congratulations to Juan Jennings, who won the FedEx Air Ground Player of the Week for Week 3. Ended up having 11 catches, 175 yards, averaging 15.9 yards per catch. So far in this, and that's a career high. First 49 to have 3 touchdown passes in a game since Terrell Owens did it back in 2000. What they had to say. That's Brandon Ayuk. We're just gonna go. Okay, that's 49ers head coach Kyle Shanahan with the discuss of the team, with the defense, the loss of Javon Hargraves, and of course Christian McCaffrey and his Achilles. He went to Germany to see a specialist. How they're going to treat this, though, in perspective, I've dealt with similar things with the tendonitis. I've dealt with it with in my elbow on a couple occasions. I think I caught it one time when I was fifth Super Bowl. It feels like not that long ago. The Niners, the 49ers winning that fifth Super Bowl. And we're going to go, this time we're going to go back to week number 4 of the National Football League. We're going back to week number 4 on the New Orleans Saints. And we'll just give you the go into the Wikipedia just to look back at that 1984 season. We're going to be doing this for all 3 of the celebrating all 3 of the 5 49ers Super Bowls. Of course, this week we did week number 3, week number 4, when the Niners, from the 1984 regular season, the Niners end up beating the Philadelphia Eagles at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, 21-9. And then yesterday we did, for the 35th anniversary of the 1989 back-to-back Super Bowl champion team, we looked at the highlights or recapped the 49ers win that really come from behind 21-10 deficit to the Philadelphia Eagles at Veterans Stadium in the fourth quarter. The Niners, of course, trailed 21-10, 28-17. Joe Montana, of course, threw 4 fourth-quarter touchdowns. The Niners come back to win that game to go to 3-0. Now this one, 1994 Niners, as we now go to the regular season, Niners are coming off, they are coming in now at 2-1. The previous week, the Niners defeated the LA Rams 34-19, and what would be San Francisco 49ers' final game ever at Anaheim Stadium down in Anaheim, as the Rams would move to St. Louis following the 1994 season. So now they're playing the New Orleans Saints. This is their second divisional game, playing at Candlestick Park, and this was Deion Sanders' first making his 49ers debut at home, and his first start at cornerback for the soon-to-be NFL Defensive Player of the Year. In the first quarter, the Cal Golden yard field goal that put the Niners up 3-0. That was with 2 minutes and 31 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Then with 10:48 left to play, it was Morton Anderson hit a chip shot. The automatic Morton Anderson was Money in the Bank Hall of Famer, tied the game at 3-3. Then the second quarter, Young hooked up with Jerry Rice for a 28-yard touchdown reception after the extra point and made 10-3 San Francisco. Then tight end Irv Smith, Jim Everett, the former LA Ram quarterback, hooked up with Saints tight end Irv Smith, who would later play with the 49ers in the late 90s. They tied the game at 10-10. Then Morton Anderson boots his third field goal. I think it was his second field goal or his third field goal of the game. That made it 13-10 Saints. Then Steve Young hooked up with Jerry Rice with a 6-yard touchdown pass. It made it 17-13 Niners lead. And that will stay that way in the fourth quarter when the Niners, the Saints were driving to try to take the lead. And two big plays in that game. Jim Everett throwing an intercepted Merton Hanks pass, or intercepted a pass from Jim Everett in the end zone that halted the Saints' rally threat to take the lead. Then the big play late in the fourth quarter, Everett threw his second interception, this time to Deion Sanders, and he took it back to the house, a pick six, 74-yard interception. And you remember the play when he was high-stepping up midfield, took it all the way for a touchdown. That's when Deion Sanders, known as Prime Time, arrived in the city of the Bay. Niners end up winning the game. That put the game away. They won it 24-13. And looking up at the final numbers of that game, we're going to give you hopefully we can give you all the final totals of the stats of that game. So we're going to get rid of that. I don't want that. This is a podcast show. We're not promoting cannabis. So this game in week number 4, this game was at Candlestick Park, dated on September 25th, 1994, exactly 30 years ago today. Kickoff time was 1 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. The game time was at 65 degrees, sunny. A crowd of 63,971 at Candlestick Park. The referee was Ron Plum. And this game was on Fox Sports. The announcers of this game, of course, both the late Pat Summerall and John Madden, the best football duo in all of football broadcast. My favorite duo all the time. And then so that was the final score of that game. Niners win it 24-13, and that was a big win for the Niners, winning within your second game within the division. So, excuse me, the big win for the 49ers. With the win, the Niners improved their record to 3-1, while the Saints dropped to 1-3. And boy, you talk about the Niners and Saints, that West rivalry going back to the late 80s through the early mid-90s. There have always been some classic Niners Saints games. Those games have always gone down to the wire. When Jim Mora was there, some classic games. I'll never forget the one game as a kid, 1987. The Niners barely eking out a win in the Superdome against the Saints, 24-22. And then later in the press conference or presser, Jim Mora had that the Saints were had a good team in 87 and said the great line, woulda, coulda, shoulda, but woulda, coulda, shoulda ain't good enough, and it don't mean blank. And those are some classic games. Those Niners Saints games will always have gone right down to the wire. That game, you think of the game, Deion had the pick six to ice that game for San Francisco in 1994. There's some other great games. Of course, Alex Smith, the Vernon Davis, the post for the game-winning touchdown. The classic Niners Saints shootout game at the Superdome in 5 years ago down at the Superdome. That critical win for the 49ers that gave them the NFC West and home field advantage throughout the playoffs. So big victory for the Niners. They go to 3-1. Saints fall to 1-3. Let's now take a look around NFL scoreboard from as well. It was the Falcons over the Redskins 27-20. The Rams shut out Joe Montana and the Kansas City Chiefs 16-0. The first and only time that Joe Montana was shut out in his career. The Green Bay Packers pitched a shutout they beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the old NFC Central rival, the of the Bay, 30-3 in Green Bay. The Cleveland Browns beat the Colts at the RCA Dome 21-14. It was the Vikings over the Dolphins 38-35. The Bengals or the Oilers 20-13 over the Oilers over the Bengals in the Astrodome in Houston. The Patriots defeat the Detroit Lions 23-17 up in Motown. The Seahawks all over the Steelers 30-13. And then the Chargers eking out a big win over the Raiders down in LA as the big AFC West rivalry 6-24. The Bears over the Jets at the Meadowlands 19-7. And then there was the Bills on Monday Night Football, the four-time AFC champion Bills over the Buffalo Bills 27-20. In fact, between 1987 through 1993, between the Bills and the Broncos, they combined to get to the combined to win 7 of the 8 AFC championships between those two teams between 87 through 93, only to lose in the Super Bowl. So there you have of week number and that was a recap of from the 1994 regular season, the Niners being the New Orleans Saints. And let's just take a quick look at the NFC right now. Niners sit at 1-2. They're 0-2 conference play, 0-1 with the division. Seahawks has a 2-game lead over Cardinals, Rams, and the 49ers. So the Niners, after this Sunday, they're going to, after this, they'll be back within the division. So the Niners, there's still a lot of work to get done, and, they still got a lot to get done. So in the meantime, I'm getting ready to wrap it up here on. And we thank all of you for watching. And we'll have another 49ers Daily up live tomorrow. So we looked at this so far. Next week, we will continue on Niners Radio 49. We'll take a look as we commemorate the night, all 3 of the Super Bowl teams' history. Next Monday, we'll look back of week number 5. Week 5, when the Niners taking on for their 1984 Super Bowl season, record-breaking season, when the Niners taking on the Atlanta Falcons at Candlestick Park from September 30th at Candlestick. We'll look back at that. The Niners trying to improve their record to 5-0. Then next week, I believe next Tuesday, we'll take a look back at the 49ers from the 1989 season in honoring of the 1989 back-to-back Super Bowl champions, the 35-year anniversary when the Niners the Niners taking on the LA Rams for their home opener at Candlestick Park. And that did not turn out, the homecoming did not turn out great for your 49ers. And then next week, we will also take a look back from October the 2nd, 1994, when the Niners taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. Was not a great day a Niner fan at that time. We will get back as we continue to celebrate the 30-year anniversary of the 49ers' last Super Bowl win We'll look back at that game against the Philadelphia Eagles, which was not a good day, and Steve Young had that tirade with George Seifert, and like the late Paul Harvey says, you know the rest of the story. So that's going to do it for now. Brian Professor B. Davis on location here in San Francisco. We'd like to thank for all of you watching Niners Radio 49 at this time. We'll have another 49ers Live tomorrow on Niners Radio 49. We thank you for watching, and please, if you want to drop by, or do you want to add to check us out, all of our content at youtube.com/@NinersRadio49. That's youtube.com/@NinersRadio49. Please don't forget to click the subscribe button. Our goal is our mission is trying to get 1,000 subscribers. 1,000 subscribers. And we're trying to build this thing as a consistent podcast. And we need all, and continue. Thank you for support. Niners Patriots on Sunday. We will have 49ers Tailgate, our second show, coming up on Sunday back out at the Gold Bar Whiskey at Faithful Boulevard with my man Antonio Arvalo. We'll be bringing you there, and we'll put up that episode sometime next week. For now, Brian Professor B. Davis, so long. Thank you for watching 49ers Live on Niners Radio 49. We'd like to wish all of you a very pleasant good evening. Take care, everybody.